Hi, Glenn Coder. Oh, we had gangs we ran around, not violent gangs. We had gangs that we played Run Sheep Run, and we had friends that we ran all over town. We visited each other's homes. Everybody in town knew each other, and everybody had a nickname. Well, we had at the community building, what was the old band hall, we used to have dances there. We had movies there. We had parties there.
Back then at home?
People listened to the radio all the time, yeah.
I had some other people say the Lone Ranger and Green
Lone
Hornet.
Ranger, Inner Sanctum. Farthest back I can remember that really stands out was the 36 flood. My dad brought me down. We lived up the gap across from where the swimming pool is now. He brought me down, and the floodwater was covered, had Main Street covered. And I can remember that like it was yesterday.
Did you hunt very much when you were a kid?
Yes, yes. Hunted every chance I got.
Tell us about that.
Not really. We'd get young gangs gathered up, especially when we had a day off of school. We'd come home, grab our guns, and we'd go hunting. Well, it was a full course meal, cooked, mostly meat, potatoes, and gravy. And everybody sat down to the table at the same time to eat.
Yep.
I can remember the support that Mapleton gave all the people that were in the service. I can also remember the what they call them, Minutemen. They wore armbands. Well, in fact, I donated one to the society. We wore armbands, and when they'd have air raids and everything, we'd go around and check and see if there was any lights showing out of people's houses, and we patrolled the town.
I guess that's hard to believe now, but back then, the railroad was one of the major transportation
Yep, it
arteries
was,
for the
yes.
military.
Yes,
Do you remember seeing the troop trains go through?
yes, troop trains, lots of them.
Yeah. That's a couple other people mentioned that. That's something I had never heard of before. You
I can
know.
remember one time I guess you'd call him a bum, came through, stopped at our house, and the sheriff pulled up and checked him out. And he left pretty soon, and later on, we found out later on that he was an FBI agent coming through, and they were investigating a threat to the Ten Arch. And he was here and investigating that.
Now this guy was an FBI guy, but
Yeah,
you
but
had
he was posing as a hobo.
posing, right? But
Yeah.
you had the real hobos back then.
Oh,
I
yeah,
guess.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Tell
Every
us,
year they came through,
how'd they get here? By
by
train?
train mostly, yeah.
Where'd they go? Did they stay certain places or what?
A lot of them stayed out at my uncle's barn. A lot of them did. A couple of them died there.
Really? Oh, jeez. So these were mostly transients that just
Yes,
would hop the
yes.
trains and what, from town to town, just
Yep,
looking
yep.
for handouts and a place to stay.
Yep.
Wow.
They had a big train station here. We had 4 tracks running through town then.
Wow.
And they had a mail pickup that would stick out by the track, and a train would come along and they'd hook it with a hook and bring the bag in
Okay.
and throw the other bag off on the ground. No, we had two of them when I was a kid.
Okay.
One right across from the post office now. There was one went across there, and where the subway is now, there was one went across there.
Okay, so traffic actually traveled back and forth right across the tracks there.
Yes, yes,
Yeah. Any accidents?
yes. That's how we got the subway in. People got killed on the crossing, and they decided then to put the subway in.
When did you first get started with the fire department?
When my dad would take me to the fire hall. He was a fireman for years, a fire chief, and he would take me to the fire hall.
Now, for people who don't know, what was his name?
Irvin, Jake, everybody knows him by Jake. Yeah. And a lot of times we couldn't get the truck started, we'd push it to a fire. A lot of the safety things have changed for the better. When I first started out, you didn't have breathing apparatus. You went going into a building,
Okay.
smoke eaters is what we were, and of course we didn't have as much toxic material burning then as we have now.
Okay.
So, but it's still bad.
I'd never.
We were desperate for a fire truck. We didn't have anything that we could depend on, and 3 or 4 of us got our heads together and said, "Yeah, we can." So we designed a truck, got a bid, got a guy to build it from Altoona, and they built it. And it was probably one of the best trucks in Huntington County for 20 years.
Well, I was heard stories about it was one of the better pumpers
Yeah,
as far as.
it was outstanding pumper,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, see, I was a young kid at that time, but I still remember that. That was a big thing. Not just Mapleton having their centennial, but getting that new truck,
Yeah,
putting siding on the band hall. All those little things are happening about that same
Yeah,
time. So
yeah.
it was just a lot seemed to be going on. And as a kid, that was always a lot of activity, you know.
yeah, yeah.
And do you remember much about the centennial back then?
I'm probably the only member of the committee that's left.
Oh, really?
I was
Okay,
on
you were on the committee back
I was
then.
on the Centennial Committee,
Okay,
and I think I'm the only one left.
so you had you grew the beard and wore the outfits.
Got thrown in jail, yeah.
Remember?
Being fire chief in
Yes.
Mapleton,
Yes.
yeah, that's a great honor. It's a great honor to have been a fire chief in Mapleton and had so many young people working under me and learning under me, and hopefully I made an impression on some of them. Mike's one of them, I don't know.